Hi there, YouTube family. Happy New Year. It's so nice to see you guys. Today is January 1st, 2020, and I am so happy to be here, you guys. I have not checked in the last week because I was sick. Spent my whole vacation just chilling, trying to get better, and I am feeling really good. Today is my last day before going back to work. This week I'm doing daycare, and then starting the following week, I'm full-time taxes. So what I'm doing today, I wasn't even going to make a movie or make a video. What I was going to do is just, I was in my kitchen getting ready to start cooking, and I thought, hey, I could share the recipe I'm doing and make a quick video and wish you all a happy new year and show you kind of what I'm doing over here. Let me come over here. So what I'm trying to do is use up some of my veggies that I had left from the holidays. We had some carrots, some broccoli. I had a big bag of cauliflower and some onions, a sweet potato. I have a regular potato, Yukon Gold. In fact, I have a whole bag. I'm going to use that. And I stopped at the grocery store today and got a couple of the little onions today and the peppers. And while I was there, the peppers were such a good deal that I wanted to make my roasted pepper and cauliflower soup. And it's fantastic. It's so easy. Pretty low carbs, delicious taste. It's awesome. I can't wait to share it with you. In fact, the way that the recipe calls, you use chicken broth, and I always made it that way. But for a baby shower that we had recently, our friends are vegan, and so I changed the recipe around a little bit. Super easy change. Instead of chicken broth, I use vegetable stock, and instead of butter, I just used olive oil, which I think I just used olive oil anyways on the original recipe. That was the only difference, and it was delicious. She loved it. So tastes so warm and hearty, and with the days being cold, I thought it would be something you guys might also like. So let me turn this around and I will show you what I'm doing. All right, you guys. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to wash your 4 peppers because we're going to get those in the oven roasting. So always water, you want to get as much water off as you can. I noticed that this little pepper here, move that out of the way, had a little ding on it. So I'm going to make sure I cut that bad part off. I have a little bowl going. And then I'm just going to clear out the guts. That's what I'm getting rid of. And then I'm just going to leave these skin side up on the roasting pans, on just my regular cookie sheets that I use for roasting vegetables. In fact, that's what I'm making for dinner tonight. I have some sausage that's in the fridge. I started to buy meat at the store, and all the prices were not that great. So I just was like, that's silly. I already have something at home that I could use. So I am just gonna use up what I have left. That's one of my goals I was going to share with you guys. You know, at the beginning of the year, you're always setting goals for yourself and trying to make things better. And so this year, one of my goals is a low spend 2020. Not a no spend, because I need to be realistic. I'm going to spend some money. But what I think I'm going to do is I am going to try to go with a cash basis for my spending this year. I know I have a debit card, and that's fine. That works the same as cash in my opinion, but I'm not gonna let myself put anything on credit this year unless I have the ability to immediately pay it off. Like if I wanna get points, and then I'm gonna use it kind of like a checking account. I think that's my main plan. So anyways, that's just one of the things I've got going on. Boy, when you're not feeling good, it gives you lots of time to plan. So let me get the last of these little guys on. I am going to give them a little bit of olive oil just to help the heat get these nice and blistery, because that's what I'm trying to do, is just get a nice roast on these. And then once they come out of the oven, I'm going to put them in a bag and let them sweat. And while they're sweating, then I will roast up the cauliflower. And so although this is not a hard recipe, it does have a couple of steps, which makes it a little bit, timely to do. And so I think the other thing I'm gonna do, I think I might try my Instant Pot on it this time, which would speed up the process. And if those of you who don't have Instant Pots, it's absolutely possible to make this recipe on the stove top. I've done it lots of times, turns out fantastic. And then but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the link for the recipe that I use because I found it on Pinterest. When I have veggies, like cold veggies, my favorite combination is always cauliflower and red peppers. And so when I saw there was a soup that had both, I was like, mmm. And then I tasted it and it was like, mmm, it's amazing. It's really hearty and it feels so decadent, almost like a mashed potato or a potato soup that's so nice and hearty and warm. But anyways, but on this soup, it doesn't have all those carbs like a potato. It just has the peppers and the cauliflower, and it really just blends together. So anyways, I'm just giving this a little, I'm gonna put this back down. I'm so bad at, Amy thinks, too bad all my aprons are in the washing machine right now as I'm doing this. I could probably use it. Anyways, just gonna give it a little oil massage on all my peppers to help get them blistery. I'm gonna put them in a roasting oven. I've got it at 450, and I'm just gonna watch it about every 10 minutes or so. And once it starts to really blister, I could do it on broil, but I have other things I'm working on. As I said, I'm trying to use up all my veggies and get dinner ready tonight. So I'm gonna be multitasking. So let me get this in the oven and I will get my cauliflower ready. One second. Alexa, set the timer for 10 minutes, please. Okay, so here are my head of cauliflower. And it's a little short. It's not quite a head. It's probably 3/4 of a head of cauliflower, but that's okay. It needs to be used up. Let me give this just a little bit of oil as well, just to help it roast a little bit better. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to throw this in same time as that other one and let them be roasting at the same time since I'm taking a shortcut with my Instant Pot. Let me turn this guy over here. Hello, hello. Pretend you don't notice the rest of my kitchen is a tiny bit messy right now. Ooh, look what I got for Christmas. I cannot wait to give it a try. Let me see if I can put my little guy up here. It's got the gripper legs, although I've got greasy hands, so maybe. No. I might have to. I think if I don't mess with it too much, that'll work. Okay, let me plug my Instant Pot in. Look at that. Hey, it's a multi-use tool. Okay, I'm going to put this on saute. Let me grab my medium onion and give this a little rinse off, and I will get going over here. I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash. I was supposed to do my dishes first before I started filming, but I was like, I need to make my time work for me. They'll understand. Life happens. Right? You guys understand. Trying to get everything done all at the same time. You guys know. Not so easy. All right, so let me scoot this little guy over. And this is a real rough chop because, the thing with all of these things is they're all going to get blended up at the end anyways. So perfect knife cuts are not a requirement on this episode or on this recipe. Let me throw in a little bit of olive oil that I'm going to use to saute my onion and garlic. Now, something else I've been watching while I was sick, I was watching lots of cooking, other people's cooking channels, and I watched this great video on how to make broth, different kinds of broth, especially with your Instant Pot. It's such a nice tool. Anyways, this lady said that she takes all of her scraps during the year, all of her veggie scraps. So I'm going to take all of these onions and put them in my bag. Even the skins, she said, even the skins, because that'll help you with nice color. And then over here on I'm going to take my scraps of my peppers, not the icky piece though, because that one, I just have a little bit to throw in on that one. Anyways, she said if you keep all of your scraps and just keep it in the freezer, then when you have a bag that's full, you can make an Instant Pot full of veggie broth. And I was like, dude, How did I get to be almost 50 and not know all these tricks and things? I'm telling you. Okay, let me scoot this over. Give these a rough chop. My little onions. And throw those in. There we go. All right, and then we give this another chop. All right. So that's all ready to go. I'm gonna grab my favorite spoon. Coat those all with the oil. I'm gonna give it a little pinch of salt and pepper. And that's about all the seasoning I do for now. I do remember this recipe calls for thyme and paprika. And there's my paprika. And I don't think I have thyme. And I honestly don't think I've ever used thyme any of the times I've made it. But I do use the paprika and salt and pepper. And it has such nice flavor. I don't think it really needs anything else. If you want to use the thyme, of course, put it in. So while this is cooking, I'm going to come back. I can smell the vegetables roasting. It already smells so good in there. And then once these are nice and caramelized, I'm going to add the soup in, wait for the veggies to get done, and then I'll put them in as well and just let them simmer. So I will check back. All right, you guys, I added some, let me turn that saute back on. I actually turned that off. My onions are perfectly caramelized, and I added a big scoop of onion. I didn't have any fresh garlic is what I meant. I didn't have any garlic. I didn't realize I didn't have fresh garlic. So thank goodness for my big old Costco one. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 box of chicken broth because I'm making it for myself, so I like chicken broth. I added that to it, and I'm bringing it up. I have it on saute, so it's bringing it back up. I want to show you because I just got done with my red peppers, and you can see how they're already starting to kind of shrivel like that. That's perfect. I'm going to grab a plastic bag and throw it in there, and that will help them to steam and get those skins will come off nice and easy. Then I can cut it into little pieces and throw it in my pot that I'm going to bring up to a boil. So let me let this cool down while my, it's hot. Okay, 2 more, 1 more. Oh, hot, hot, hot. So while this is sealed, let me seal this up. And while that's cooling down, I move my cauliflower up so that it's up by the broil too. Did I tell you I switched it to the broil? Yeah, it needed to broil to get some good color, so, to get a good char on that. So I'm gonna let that just cool off here and keep an eye on my cauliflower. Ooh, boy, cauliflower cooks way faster. Look at that. I'm glad I peeked. Let me turn that off for right now. You can see how that is nice and caramely. That's perfect. So let me set this down because it's hot. Because it's so hot. And let me put this right into my broth so that it can start soaking in this broth as well. And then once I can peel those red peppers, I'll get them all in together, and then it will be time. I'm gonna put it on, instead of on a stovetop, I would cook it for 20 minutes. With the Instant Pot, it'll probably only need to come to pressure and stay there for about 2-3 minutes to get the same results, if not better. I love the Instant Pot. Have I mentioned that lately? Anyway, so I'm going to let that start to come up to temperature. I'm going to keep checking on my peppers and see if the skin is ready to come peel off. And once it is, I will get going to the next part. Thanks. All right, you guys, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you peel one of the peppers. So you can see here that where the dark color came, that paper or the outside skin just sloughs right off when you roast it. and it leaves all that yummy caramelization underneath the skin gets to go into your soup. If you're not able to get the skin off, then you end up with little flicks in your soup that aren't, they're, what's the word I'm looking for? They're kind of tough. And so I have peeled this most of the way, and then I went ahead and roasted it a little bit more just to get the last little bit of the skin off. Because once it's charred, it comes off so much easier. Then I'm just gonna give this skin a nice little rough chop. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, because once it cooks in the soup, I'm gonna put the whole soup into my food processor or my blender, and it'll blend right up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish getting all of these peppers skinned, and then I will get this soup cooking. I'll show you the next step. Okay, you guys, my pin just dropped. This is one of my other little tips for Instant Potting, is that when you go to open it, make sure you always open your lid towards you so the steam does not go towards you, because you certainly don't want to get burned. So here is all of the soup with it's got onions and the roasted peppers and the roasted cauliflower, chicken broth, and garlic. I put in a teaspoon of paprika and a little tiny bit of salt and pepper. That one I usually wait until the end. I don't want it to be too salty. So next to my Instant Pot, I've got my Ninja, which is just the blender that we have. And so one of the things I remember is that whenever you are blending things that are hot, and obviously this is still very, very hot. I just, it just came out of pressure. You don't want to fill your thing too full, because it could expand with it being hot, and you just want to be extra careful. So I'm just going to start taking all of my chunks in and putting them into my Ninja, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the soup, and then I'm going to blend it up, and then keep doing that. So let me go ahead and turn my camera. I'm going to set my camera over on the side so I can kind of show you what it looks like as I'm working, and I will be right back. Okay. I think that's an okay view that you can see everything. Probably not the most flattering view, but I'm trying to show you how to make the soup. So here, you can see I'm almost to the halfway mark. Give it a little bit longer. Okay, I am going to use my measuring cup and take about a cup's worth, maybe 2 cups of the broth. But see, I don't have it filled very high. So let me set this down, put my lid in. Oh. It almost just looks like thick tomato soup. So I'm going to grab another bowl. This will work. And I'm going to just do small batches at a time. And then I can always make it blend up even smoother, which I may end up doing. Oh my goodness. It's so good. It's stupid how good it is, really, because it's so simple. It's just peppers and cauliflower and broth. It's like, how could that be so good? But it is. It's so good and creamy. Like, it almost tastes like it's made with cream, but it's really not. It's just these simple ingredients. Okay, let me take out my Instant Pot and try pouring the last of this. Again, making sure that I'm not filling it too full. I just have 2 little things in there. Lid down. grab, if I can quit licking my fingers long enough, let me grab my phone and come show you how delicious and creamy. See how good that looks? Oh man, so good and so comforting. All right, I am gonna dish up for real and I will do a taste for you and then we'll wrap up. Okay, you guys, final product. Let me tip this down so you can see the soup. See how nice and creamy and delicious the soup is. It's so strange because it purees so smoothly. It looks like it might be a little bit chunky, but it's really not. It has such a nice smooth texture and so many flavors, just layer on layer of flavors. I think it's so good and I hope that you guys will give it a try. If you do, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you liked it and if there's something else that, something else that's warm and comforting that you guys make that you think I might like. Leave me that as well. I would sure appreciate it. I guess that'll do it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you all have a wonderful year 2020. Mwah! See you later.